Welcome Leisha today, you guys. So today I am going to be doing a batch order of tumblers. I just got an order for 10 tumblers. They're all the same, but I just wanted to show you guys how I go about making them the fastest way I know to save time and to get them shipped out. All right, if you guys are interested, stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing I did was I made sure I got the design that the person wanted, and I am printing it out on my Epson EcoTank ET2803 printer that I converted to a sublimation printer. So I went ahead and I print 11 of these because sometimes you run into an issue, so it's always good to have an extra one. So I do that. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not showing the person's information. So then I just go ahead and I get the order and I determine what they're asking for. So they want a pink to blue background color with a yellow evidence tape. So as you can see, that's what I'm printing out. So the next thing I do is I just gather all the tumblers that I need. So there's 10 of these in here. And then I find a box that can fit all the tumblers. I also make sure I grab, like, if they come with straws, I grab the straws. And I also grab my business card as well. And then that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these out of the boxes so I can get them ready for sublimation. So each box contains the sublimation tumbler, and it comes with a lid. So what I do is I go through each one and I take off the lid to each one. And then I'm just going to line them up. I also wanted to show you guys too that, like, when I take the lids off, I also put them back into the bag and I put them back in the box so that I don't end up losing the tops to each one. All right, so once I have them all unpacked and all my pages printed out, then I'm just going to trim them. So I'm just going to show you how I trim one. So what I do is I trim all the sides but one. So I'll show you. I'm going to trim this side, the top, and then the bottom. And I do this because I found this way works the best to try not, so you don't get any ghosting, and as well as it just seems to fit my tumbler better that way. So then once I get it trimmed out, I'm going to do the same process for each one. Let me show you what I would do next. So I grabbed some scissors and some heat resistant tape. So what I do is, since this cuts the tape into like smaller pieces, I like to get a little bit longer pieces so that I could wrap the tumbler really good. So what I do, if I can get it off of here, let's see. So I just get a long piece of the tape and then I cut it. And then I cut this long piece into 3 pieces. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take the tumbler and then I'm gonna put it on here, try to line it up as best as I can. Let's see if I can get you guys over. Let's see. So I'm just lining up the top edge and then the bottom edge. More so the top, because that's the one that I want to make sure is sublimated completely. And I usually look at the top to see, like, if I have a little bit of like overhang, just so I know that it's going to make sure it sublimates the whole entire top. But it looks like it's a little off, so let me adjust it. So once I'm comfortable with how it looks, then what I'm gonna do is make sure the bottom lines up to here. Is I'm gonna take one of the long pieces of tape and I'm gonna start from the center. And I'm gonna like pull it really snug, like so. Okay. And then I'm gonna do that for the top and the bottom. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. Here. And then what I'm going to do for the center is I want this to be, to have no, no seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these bigger pieces of tape. And then I'm going to put this along the seam here. And it looks like I didn't make it long enough, so I'm just going to get a little bit more. So that I can get this bottom and this little bit of top part up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to like smooth this out as best as I can. And I'm going to like rub this really hard. Okay. Really hard until I feel like I know that that seam is going, there's no air pockets in there, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure there's no air pockets. And so I do that, and then once I do that, then I put them into one of these looks like the tape's coming off on there. So these are the sleeves I use to sublimate them in a convection oven. So I'm going to do this for all 10, and then let me go set up the convection oven so you can see how that works. Alright, so I use this Gourmet convection oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to set it to convection, and I'm going to put it on 350. I'm just going to push start for now. That way it's preheating, so it's ready for when I'm ready to put them in. And the reason why I use a convection oven is because I'm going to be doing multiple tumblers at once, instead of using a tumbler press, which you can only do one at a time. Okay, so I have 3 tumblers ready to go. Sorry if it's a little bit loud. I have my laser engraver going. Alright, so I'm just going to open this up. And I'm just going to put 3 of them in there. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to close the door. I kind of wait for them all to kind of, the shrink wrap to go around them, and then I change the time to 4 minutes. And then once 4 minute hits, then I'll take them out, and then I'll show you guys what I do from there. So once they're done, I'm gonna immediately take off the shrink wrap and the sublimation paper. So I take them out. And then I immediately, like I said, take this off. I try to take it off in a way that also too, like I can try to get that tape started. Because if you let this stay on for too long, it starts to harden and it's harder to get off. So just take them all off real quick. am going to do that two more times, and then maybe one, because I have 10, so I can do 3 at a time. So yeah, so I'll just do it as many times as I need to, and then I'll show you guys the what I'm going to do next. But as you can see, it looks good at the top, no ghosting, at the bottom no ghosting, and then and then there is no white line, there's just seamless. Okay, okay, so once I get each tumbler done, then I just check over it. So I look to see if I see anything that I would need to do to replace it. I shouldn't say replace it, what I need to do to if I need to remake it, I should say. So right here you can kind of see like there's some like white stuff there, but that's just from the paper. So if you just wipe it off, you can see that goes away. So just check for stuff like that so you can wipe it off, just so your customer doesn't see it and think, oh, there's something going on there, when there's really not. Okay, so once that's good, then I take the box and I do the following. I put in a thank you card with Tumbler care instructions on there, and my business card. I put those in there like so, and then I put the lid back on, put this back into this protective sleeve, and then I pack it up in the box. And when I know it's done, I put a little thank you sticker on here, and it just says thank you, and if you write a review, please. I think these help because most of the time I do get people to leave reviews for me, and thank you so much for all the people who do leave reviews. And so then I'm just going to do each one like this, and once I'm done with doing all 10, then I'll show you guys how I do the shipping. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I have everything in the order. So I take the order form, and it says I have 10 tumblers, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straws, and then put the 10 tumblers in the box. And then I'm going to put the order form in there with it. I'm going to turn it upside down. And then I'm just going to tape up the box. And I'm going to go to Pirate Ship to make my label for this customer. And then I'm just going to take it to USPS since it seemed like that's going to be the cheapest one. Thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Stay blessed.